Hello YouTube friends and subscribers, here we are dealing with the Mk5 Golf again, 55 plate. This time we are hearing some constant noise from the back end of the car, which I'm taking to be rear bearing. The trick is to figure out which side it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the car up on the axle stands, get the wheels off and spin the wheels and see if we can detect which side bearing is making the noise. Now, to remove the caliper, we've all seen this before, you need a 15mm spanner to stop the bolt revolving when you loosen it using the 13mm. So the 13mm is the one you're going to turn, and the 15 holds the second part of the bolt in place and stops it from spinning around. Right, so when you've knackered up the head of this locating screw, you've got a little bit of a problem. So what we're going to do here is take the old precaution of putting the drill on it and grinding it out. That'll fix it good. If I'm honest guys, I can't really tell if that is supposed to be making that amount of noise. But it doesn't sound brilliant to me. I would have thought that should be silent, more or less. Yeah, use your special tool for getting this cap off, i.e. paint scraper. Get that in behind here somehow. Give it a tap with a hammer and that'll come off. The next thing you want is 18 triple square spline bit. Get these off eBay for about a £5, and that is an 18. I don't know if you call it M18. Yes, M18. Stick it in there and see if we can get this undone. Right, that is seriously on there, so we're going to have to get our breaker bar out, which in this case is a defunct clothes hoist, as a matter of fact, which I think should do the job nicely. So we'll see if we can get that on there. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to film this, but we can give it a try, can't we? Might be a laugh if it all goes wrong. Yes. She's well on. Gonna need two hands on this. Well, something's moved. I don't know whether it's this bolt or something in my trousers, but we have got movement. Pretty greasy. I don't know if that's ever been out before. I don't know what that's a sign of, whether that's a sign of maybe melted grease, overheated. I don't know. Anyway, that's that lump off. Giving this a clean with the wire brush and the stiff brush. And yes guys, I know things do look a little bit worn out under here, rather like the old geezer who's trying to fix this bearing. But while there's life there's hope, and we'll just keep going for as long as we can. Now, as many of us have found out, these things often come in two options, 30mm and 32mm. What I've done here is checked the part against the engine. This is a BXE engine in this vehicle, and apparently that takes a 32mm bore bearing assembly. So that's what we're going to find out any minute now. I suppose I might just as well film this just in case it gives everybody a laugh when we find we've actually got the wrong size. I think it's fair to say that we yes, it's fair to say we definitely have got the wrong size. Bloody hell. Happy days, guys. Well, after that little hiccup in proceedings, our new part has arrived. This time, hopefully, the right with the right bore in it, 30mm bore, not the 32. Now, all we need to do is just simply extract it from its plastic bag. And see what we think. That feels more like it, guys, doesn't it? Let's face it. So that's the 30mm bore on there. All we need to do now is tighten up the big old Jesus nut. Now I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on here, just on the end of the thread. That ought to do that. Ideally, you don't want this big old bolt coming out. So that's that stuff. Yep, you're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. You feel like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. Now the torque setting for this is 180 Newton meters, so that's what we're going to attempt. But it is I think that was it. Tell you what, it'll take some doing. Now, when you've got it to 180, you have to go another 180 degrees one way or another. So we're going to mark that and then get the breaker bar on it. Be nice if I had a way of marking this in white for you, but all we've got is this felt pen. I can see it. Some of it. Okay. Right, I've tightened that to about 1/4 of a turn, and I'm going to be quite honest, guys. Because this is a DIY job and we don't really know what we're doing, I would have thought that's not running very freely. Now, okay, when the wheel's on, it will, but my feeling is that that's around about tight enough. I've done it 1/4 of a turn there, so we've tightened it up to 180. We've done 1/4 of a turn. And that, I don't know what you think. Perhaps you leave a few comments below and tell me how we could have done this better. I don't think you want that any tighter than that. I don't know, maybe the grease becomes a bit runny and then the whole thing spins freely. But it feels to me as if it's dragging a little bit, if I'm honest. But I think we can live with that. We've tightened it to 180 and 1/4 of a turn. I've tightened the big bolt around about 1/4 of a turn, and the wheel, the bearing is quite tight. I don't know. This is a DIY job. My feeling is you don't want to tighten that bearing any harder than that. So, since it's my car and I'm the only person who's going to be driving it until it goes to the scrapyard, I'm going to live with that. So we'll put the cap back on and then chuck the brake disc on. I think we'll call that on, shall we? Line up that screw hole in case we ever find a screw that would do that job. And next we'll put the caliper back on. The tools we've used on this job are a rubber mallet for tapping that bottle top back on, 13 and 15mm spanners, some Loctite, the 18mm triple square M18, the ratchet wrench, wire brush, the new fitting of course, the torque wrench, and not forgetting the breaker bar. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. What we've done here is a DIY version of how to change the rear bearing on a Volkswagen Golf Mk5 TDI. As you see, we don't do rehearsal, so if we get it wrong, you get to see that too. The big issue here was the bore size of the bearing assembly. They come in 32mm and 30mm, and despite my best efforts I managed to get it 100% wrong. So Spares Hut and Car Spares Direct are the eBay people I've dealt with, and they have been excellent, very fast delivery times, overnight virtually. And so we've got the vehicle back together, and it seems to be okay. I can't hear that screeching sound coming from the bearings. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, that'd be good. You'll be able to see what else we get up to around the car, around the house, and even some photography tips. Thanks for watching.